Hello to those of you who are joining. Petri, Juan, nice to have you here. If you want to ask questions to our guests, you're welcome to do so. So just in the comment section, you can do that. Okay, so Sofia, you started dancing very young. Can you tell us a little bit about that, about how you started to dance tango and how it was that you started?
Okay. Actually, it's very funny because it was really by chance that I started. Um, it was thanks to a thief that I started dancing tango because, yes, I was staying at home while everybody was going to take classes in my family. My sisters are much older than me, and my parents were going. Everybody was going. I was usually staying at home doing my homework. And one day, a robber tried to enter my house,
Oh my
and
God.
fortunately, he couldn't do it. But since then, I was very scared to stay alone at home. So I decided to take my homework to the tango class and work there while they were dancing. And I remember that the teacher came to me. He was a very old, tall man, and he said, "Do you want to try?" And I, I remember I said, "Honestly, I don't like tango. I find that music very depressing, and I think it's for old people."
That's funny.
And he said, "Okay, but let's just give it a try, and then you tell me if you like it or not." And I said, "Okay, let's try." And then all he said was, "Just try to mirror me." Okay. I hugged him, and I was like at the height of his belly button, more or less. And all of a sudden, we were dancing together, and it was like magic for me. I couldn't believe we were communicating in such a deep connection without me knowing what he was doing. But in a way, I was feeling it. And I fall in love immediately with the dance in that moment. I can really remember how it felt. I was like mesmerized by the feeling. And because I was doing ballet and modern dance at that time, jazz, a lot of dances, but that were individual, no? But I never tried to dance in a couple dance. So right away I realized that it was something that I really liked, and I kept on going to take classes. Actually, all my family dropped, and I was in the end going alone to the classes. So yeah, since that moment that I was 10 years old, I never stopped dancing.
So I'm gonna show a little picture of, I think, of you dancing with your
My teacher, Alberto,
teacher,
Alberto
Alberto.
Ronconi.
That's the name of your teacher. Okay, so here it is. This is Sofia. What you were 10 there.
Yeah,
And this is
maybe
your
I was 11 in that. I don't
yes.
remember exactly.
So you were saying that all of your family was they were all going to the lessons, and that kind of reminds me of something that I want to know because your great grandfather was a famous tango composer. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how that, in a way, influenced your relation with tango?
Well, yeah, I think that was the reason why my father wanted to start dancing, because it was at that moment tango was not very popular in Argentina. There weren't many people dancing it. Um, and my father said, "Oh, it's such a pity that we have a musician, a composer, and he was also a dancer. Enrique Saborido was also a dance teacher. And we don't know anything about tango. No one plays any instrument in the family, so I think we should learn how to dance. And then they saw that there was this couple teaching very close to our house, and that was the moment to start. And all my sisters agreed with the idea, and it was something that they shared all together. Because of that, I think if not, maybe they wouldn't have started dancing. I think it was because of my great grandfather that they got into tango. And I am so happy that I discovered my passion so young, because I don't know, I talk to many people and they say I don't have something that I am really passionate about in my life. Maybe they study, they work, and they live to work in some cases, but they don't have something that they are really passionate about. And in that sense, I am so grateful, so thankful for that.
Yeah,
To
it's
discover
a
it so young.
Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit more about your maestros? So how long were you taking lessons with them? Like how was the
Okay.
environment there? Was it like kind of family environment? Were you going to milongas with them?
Yes, actually, at that moment, I think I was the only child there, because everybody was my parents' age, and my sisters were also the youngest in the crowd. But it was not so common to have young people dancing at that time. And it was very nice, because I remember that, well, of course, they were teaching, they had their own job. My teachers were not professional tango dancers. He was a comisario. How do you say? Commissar?
I suppose.
It's not police officer. I don't know how you say.
Okay.
And his wife had a beauty salon, so nothing to do with tango. But they were doing that for free, and they just wanted to share what they loved with people every Monday, and all year long. They didn't take any holiday. And after the class, we would go, everybody, all the students together, to have some pizza in the same. It was like kind of a social club. I don't know if something like that exists in Europe, but it's a social club is like a place that you can play some sport. You can have people playing chess, cards. You usually have a restaurant, so it's a place to gather people together. And I love that tradition of taking the lesson and then going to the restaurant all together to talk and to meet outside of the tango atmosphere, let's say.
Nice.
But it was very naive. I don't know, that everybody was dancing just for the fun of it. There were few professionals at that time. So it was more like a hobby, let's say.
Yeah, I understand. So, can you tell us a little bit about your background? You said that before you started taking tango lessons, you were doing some ballet, but also you have some training in theater, modern dance, jazz. How do you feel that that training has helped you in your tango?
I think it's, of course, it's very useful to do any activity that has to do with body awareness, but I was very young at that time, and I don't know if it got to influence a lot my tango, because immediately when I started dancing tango, I kind of quit all the rest.
Okay.
Theater I did much later, once I already danced tango, but I was doing ballet and jazz and jazz dancing. But I was so mesmerized by tango that I decided to
Everything.
just do that. Yes, it took all my attention and my will. I was waiting. I remember I was waiting every day of the week to be Monday so I could go to my class.
The only person that wanted Monday to arrive.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and did you at that time, so you went to a social club, did you also have the chance to go to milongas? Or when was it that you first went to a milonga?
Yes. Actually, after 1 year of taking classes with this old couple, I was very anxious about learning. I wanted to learn basically sequences. That was
Of
the
course,
learning
yeah.
at that moment.
Mm.
And I remember that almost the first hour of the class, we were just walking alone individually, walking forward, backwards, ocho forward, ocho backwards against the wall, maybe also walking with the boleo, and that was it. And then we had half an hour to see a sequence that was usually the paso básico, ocho adelante, ocho atrás, sandwichito, y medio giro. And that was it. And we were repeating those sequences over and over. And I thought I knew them so well that I had to see something different. And my teachers were always saying, Sofia, come down, you have to train, you have to repeat it over and over. And I was saying to my partner, but we already know this, we need to learn something else. I was very anxious, and yeah, I thought I knew. So then one day they say, okay, I think you should go and take classes with our teachers. And those were Andrea Guasardo y Diego Arizaga, who are students of Gloria Eduardo, a very famous couple from the 80s. They used to work in El Viejo Almacén, and they were traveling to La Plata, which was the city where I was closer to, on Saturdays. And they had like a ballet of young dancers. There were like 7 or 8 couples of young dancers, and I started dancing with the son of one of the couples that were going to the social club I was going to. They brought their son so I could dance with someone my age.
So that was your partner back then.
Yeah, exactly. He was my partner. So I started to travel with him to take the classes with these new teachers. And there, yes, we started to do a lot of sequences, choreographies. We perform in theaters in La Plata, and I was like super happy to do all that. And yeah, my first approach to tango was more like stage tango, let's say.
Yeah.
And then when they organized, I remember they would hire a bus and we would all go together to Buenos Aires, which is an hour away from La Plata. So all the students from La Plata would go to Buenos Aires to the Milonga once a month, more or less. And for me, it was a shock because the first times that I had to dance in Buenos Aires with the local dancers and milongueros, I didn't really understand what they were leading because I was dancing something completely different. So I would dance with my teacher from Citibel, my first teacher, Diego, my teacher from La Plata, and my father, and my partner. So that was it. And it took me quite a while to understand the social dancing, really, which was completely different from what I was used to. But it was a very nice way to learn, because I was learning by doing.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
the
I
milongas,
understand.
I was just learning there.
That's
Yeah.
nice. That's a good thing, actually. I think I have the feeling that what I have observed in my experience here in Europe, that people tend to wait a little bit too much to go to the milonga, and it's like the milonga. As you are saying, it can be a learning experience as well. It's not that you're going there to just
Yes.
deliver. Yeah.
Yes, I think that sometimes people are too scared, and then they end up stuck at the stage of the classes. And I think that
Mm,
the classes are not a goal in itself,
mm,
at least for me. For me, the
yeah.
goal is the social dance. So
Mm,
you take classes to go to the milonga. Of
mm,
course, you have to understand. I think that at that time I was very um, unaware of all the codes of the milonga, so I
mm,
didn't really care. But now, if I would start dancing, I would go to first observe how are all the
mm.
dynamics and understand, and that there is a lot of things that you have to respect, because if not, people get a little bit upset, especially here in Buenos Aires. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's important to go to the milonga to learn also all the social dynamics
Mm,
that are
yes.
very interesting.
So, when was it that when and how did you decide that you would work with tango? Like, did you ever consider or work in something else?
Yes, actually, well, I have a master's in international business,
Okay.
but I never, I still don't know why I studied that. But yeah, I said to myself, I had to study something, and parallel to that, I was always working with tango.
Mm,
Since I was 17 years old, I started dancing in a tango house that we call them. It's like
mm-hmm,
tango show places in
mm-hmm,
Buenos Aires. Um, then I dance also in the street, in the square called Plaza
Plaza.
Dorrego in
Yes.
San Telmo
Mm-hmm.
on Sundays. And I started also teaching in the evenings as a complementary thing, but I never really decided to work with tango. It happened, um, and I never did it 100% until I finished my studies.
Mm.
Once I finished, I said, okay, now I assume that I want to work with tango. Let's face this reality. I have nothing to do with international business. um, and then yes, I started working with that fully, but I feel like I always did it without really deciding it.
Hmm. Okay.
So yeah.
So, in 2006, you won the fourth place in the Tango Championship in Buenos Aires. How was this? What is your view about competitions? What's good about competitions and what's not good about competitions for you?
Mm. Well, yeah. In that moment, I did it as a. I was very young, and I did it as an excuse to practice with I had a friend who I met in Plaza del Rego, precisely, Andres Molina, and he said, well, there is this championship, do you want to participate? And I said, well, yeah, why not? That would be like an excuse to practice. And we just did it like that. We go together every day in the afternoons and practice. And I think he was dancing for not so long in that moment. I don't know, maybe 2 years.
Wow.
He was already very talented. Yeah. And well, we participate and we were very happy with the result because we were not expecting it. But nowadays that I see it from now, I realize that I'm not so sure about how good the competitions are for the tango as a social dance. I think that they are how do you say, standardizing the way we dance. And one of the things I like from tango is the diversity. So it's very delicate to say what is good and what is bad and what is the ideal way of dancing. And I don't know, it makes some noise in my head, this thing of bringing tango to a competition, because I think there is more, it's closer to a sport where you can judge on performance than a form of art. You cannot say that Picasso is better than Monet. I mean, it's very difficult to judge on art. And also, what I don't like about competitions is that I have the feeling that there is a lot of young couples or dancers that start dancing because they want to work with tango. So I'm not sure if the will is there for a honest reason. You know, like if you're thinking about working before what you really like, I don't know if the motivation is justified. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, I understand.
And in the provinces of Argentina, there is a lot of this. I see a lot of young kids that come to Buenos Aires because they want to win the championship and start working as a dancer. And I don't know I don't know. I don't get used to that because when I started, it was very different. Everybody was dancing for the love of the dance, not because they could see work in that.
Yeah, I understand. So maybe this takes me to the next question that I wanted to ask you, because I mean, if you started dancing very young and you started like working, maybe in parallel to your studies, but you started working early on in tango, and now you've been for a while traveling and going around. Do you think that tango as an industry has changed from when you started? And if it has, like
Yeah.
how?
Well, what I saw when I started is that those who were teaching were sharing their knowledge, and they all have their own job, and they would share because they love tango. And most classes were free. The teachers would invite you to their house if they had a good feeling with you. They would invite you to share things with one couple or maybe two couples, and it was like they were passing on their secrets as something very valuable. And it was a very different way to learn as well, because there was no pedagogy in that moment. They were just doing, and they show you, and okay, let's you copy it now. Just do it. And then you would ask, can you repeat it again, because I didn't understand? And they would do it again, but it was not the same thing they did before. No, the other one. I just did it. It was not the same.
Yeah.
So that was very nice. And I don't know.
So maybe now sorry. No, I was just gonna say that maybe now it's a little bit more professionalized.
Yes, exactly. And in a way, there are things I like. For example, the search to connect. No, this will to look for connection is something that we are more aware of now. I think that before, the connection came because of repetition. Usually the couples were dancing together, like a man and his wife would dance for all their life, and they would create maybe sequences of their own, which was very nice, because every couple had its own personality, its own moves, and the connection was because of a habit, no? Because they were doing over and over things, and the woman would follow his man. She would know exactly what he would do even before doing it. And now I think that we are searching for connecting with each person we dance with, connecting with the music, and understanding more thoroughly how that connection works, and understanding more how we do what we do. So in a way, I think it's a nice path, but we are losing that I don't know, that innocent part of the tango that was more done more instinctively. I don't know, more from the heart, no, without thinking too much.
Yeah, that's interesting, because it would be nice to find a balance between those things, like the instinctive search, but at the same time, this more refined pedagogy or refined search for connection that you're describing.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And also something that I see now, especially when we are traveling, is that people see the dance as a merchandise, no, as a consuming good. And if they go to milongas, they have to dance. A night without dancing is a loss of time, you know. And the more you dance, the better. And I don't know if it is like that. For me, tango is much more than dancing. I go to milonga for many reasons, and maybe also to have dances, but I don't see the social part so much of sitting in a table with your friends, having a drink, listening to the music. You even have people here in Buenos Aires that go to the milongas and don't even dance tango.
Yeah. The joy of watching also.
Yeah. Yes. Or people who like to listen to tango or to live orchestras, to have a drink, to play chess. There is a milonga, La Viruta, where the owner likes to play chess, and everyone is welcome to go and play, and maybe they don't dance the whole night. And it's so nice that there are so many things going on apart from the dance, because it creates more lazos. How do you say?
Like networks, well, connections.
Yes, exactly. It
Yeah.
connects people in other aspects, not only in the dancing aspect.
Yeah.
So then also it takes the pressure away, the pressure of dancing and consuming that is so strong sometimes in some countries. And I see the frustration of usually ladies, because of course there are more ladies than men, and maybe they have few dances, so then they feel that it's like a lost evening, and it's such a pity to have that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
I agree. So okay, so let's go to that topic, because I think it's an interesting topic, and it's a topic that we have discussed also with other of the ladies who I have had in these conversations. And I wonder, like you just mentioned, that there is this imbalance. So usually there is a very big imbalance between men and women, so that there are more women in the lessons, in the milonga, um, and um, what do you think would be a good approach for a lady who is now dancing and it's starting to get this frustration? How could you, like, what would be your advice for that person, in order to find joy, and not and still find joy in the dance or in the world of tango, without necessarily or changing a little bit the meaning of the fact that they are not dancing enough?
um, well, first of all, we always have the choice to learn how to lead,
Mm-hmm.
which I think it's great to learn both roles.
Mm-hmm.
And if I understand that many women want to learn the follower role and they don't have a partner, but if that's the case, I think that even learning the leader's role, it will be very useful for following as well.
Mm.
And also to change a little bit the attitude, because sometimes there is like kind of a passive attitude towards oh, there aren't any leaders, so I just sit and wait. And instead of that, I think it's very important to go and try to find someone who wants to take the lesson with you, because since
Mm.
the beginning you know that it's a couple dance.
Mm.
So first of all, well, I took the swing classes. So the first thing I did was to ask my friends if they wanted to take the class with me, because I knew it was going to be hard to find a partner.
Mm.
So we have to be more active in
Mm.
in that aspect,
Mm.
because it's a couple dance. So we don't have to expect that the teacher will find a partner for us. Sometimes it's a little bit like that.
Yeah.
And if and sometimes if the class is unbalanced, the ladies may also complain about that. And then they never ask what I am doing to change this situation. Am I doing
Mm.
something or not?
Mm. Mm.
um, so not, yeah, not to put the problem outside, but
Mm.
also to take the responsibility to do something about it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So let's go back a little bit to the tango, to your work in tango. I would like to know, like, how do you prepare yourself for a performance?
um, I don't do a ritual, especially, but I try to relax as much as possible. We choose the tangos we're going to dance some minutes before the performance, according to how we feel in that moment. Um, Sometimes I have a glass of wine or champagne, something to relax. It helps.
So you do get nervous before.
No. Couple of times it happened
Yeah.
that I got nervous, but I can be nervous right before the performance, but once I start, I forget about everything. But for me, it's challenging the performing situation, because you have to bring out to the audience what is going inside of you. And to me, the best things in tango cannot be seen. What I really enjoy in tango, I cannot show it. It's inside. And maybe it's shared with my partner. It's within the bubble. So I find that performing is challenging in the way that I have to show everything that is going inside of me. And also we tend to, it's very easy to hide yourself behind the moves, the sequences. It's very difficult to show yourself as you really are, and not to be thinking, oh, I have to entertain the audience. No, because maybe they get bored because I sometimes I like not to do anything. I like to be, there, and not necessarily to do.
Yeah.
And well, when you're performing, you have to do, because people have to see something. So it's very challenging to find a balance between being honest to yourself and taking into account that you have an audience watching you do.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. That's very, 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 very interesting. So yeah, let's
Maybe
talk a
that's
little.
why.
No, go ahead, please.
No, I was thinking that maybe that's why what I enjoy the most is the social dancing, because there you don't have to show anyone what you are feeling. Sometimes it happens naturally and it's great, and sometimes the magic is not there, and what are you gonna do? I mean, it's like that. You have to accept that improvising is like that. Sometimes you have a good day, and the audience connects with you, and they really appreciate and can feel what you are feeling. And sometimes maybe not.
Yeah.
You were going to ask something and I interrupted.
Yes, no, it's okay. So I was going to ask you a little bit about how do you feel, because okay, we're talking about dancing, we're talking about social dance and performances, and then in your work with tango, there is also the aspect of teaching. So teaching and dancing are related but different skills. And what aspect do you enjoy most of each, and which one do you like more?
Which one?
Which one do you like more?
I think I like both equally, and I like the fact that there are very different activities. I explore different parts of me. Teaching helps me to learn a lot. Through teaching, I learn how to address each person differently, how to understand their learning process, what works better with each person. And also it's very challenging because I am always looking for the best way to pass on the message. We are always trying different techniques. Sometimes we we plan not to talk about technique at all and see how it goes. Sometimes we get very into the details. So it gives you the possibility to explore um, the learning universe a lot. And well, we've been traveling a lot, and something that I really miss is the regular classes. I think that there you get to see the process of learning of your students, and you build bonds with them, and that is something I really miss, because when you are traveling, you don't have that so much. Maybe you see the people once or maybe twice a year, and that's it.
Yeah, it's true. Just one weekend here, one weekend there, the other in another place, and
Yeah.
okay,
Well,
so
it's nice as well.
yeah, you get to travel to different places.
Yeah, to see different tango cultures.
So you have worked in many different places. I have seen pictures of you guys working in what was surprised me the most. I think it was the French Polynesia, like
Tahiti.
Tahiti. But you've been everywhere. Like you've been in Australia and many places in Europe, also in North America. I suppose have you been in Asia as well?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So, what's the craziest place that tango has taken you?
I think that you just said it. Tahiti for me was when we got this message from a tango dancer in Tahiti saying, "Oh, we saw that you are going to teach in the New Zealand Tango Festival. We are in a little island, kind of on your way from because we were coming from the States to New Zealand." And she said, "We're kind of on your way, so maybe you can stop by and teach us a tango. We're a very small community. We would love to have you here." So we went, and yeah, it's really, really small, but they love tango, and we were so happy. It was so rewarding to bring tango to that little corner and to see that tango is everywhere, and it's so touching
Yeah.
to to see how the tango culture is spreads all over the world, and even people who have a culture can connect with the tango feeling. It's for me, it's I'm still amazed about that.
What do you
So yeah, I
think
think
are?
that's the yeah. Also,
No, continue, please.
no, I just think another crazy place was Tromsø in the north of Norway. Actually, they say that they are the the tango school that is more northern. So we were very happy to visit that tango community as well, because it was a very special place, and also to know that there is tango there was amazing.
So, and what are the main differences that you have observed in terms of learning styles in these different places that you have taught in?
Um, well, it depends. It depends on the country, but I think that in the northern countries, there is a tendency to analyze more the things, to process mentally what you are teaching instead of really giving it a try. Maybe in Argentina, but also maybe it has to do with the not with the countries, but also with the tradition. No, here in Argentina, as I told you, the teachers would show something and you had to copy, and you were not questioning about how to do it, where do you put your weight, how do you embrace. So nowadays we tend to analyze more. In general, I think it's everywhere in the world is going in that direction.
Yeah.
But of course, there are some countries that they are more hard workers. In Russia, I like to teach there because they are like really taking it seriously. So, and in Italy, it's more like a party, you know. It's like, yeah, let's go have a coffee, and maybe it's been 20 minutes that we have to start the lesson. Yeah, relax. So, yeah, definitely, we Argentinians, we come from that culture. Yeah, it's very relaxed.
So, can you tell us a little bit how do you see the role of women in tango today? In the dance, in the teaching, and in general, like how do you see and if you feel like it has changed or has it changed for the better, for the worse? Should it change more?
Yeah,
Can you develop a little bit about that?
of course, it's changing a lot, and it's not only in tango. I think that women's role is changing in society a lot, and we can really see it in tango very clearly. Before, of course, it was the man that was like the brain of the couple, and he had the knowledge, and the woman was just executing what he was leading. So in the classes, we were not talking much about the followers' role. So personally, I think it's a good change. The fact that now we are talking about what our role consists on. Well, also 20 years ago, technique classes didn't exist. So this is a big change as well, to have classes only for the follower. And well, the follower is still related to the woman, no? Of course, it's changing, but we still have this, we're associating the leader role with the man and the follower role with the woman, but anyone can do both roles. But also, well, for me, it makes a lot of noise, this debate about how to name the roles, no? Because some people say that they don't like to say follower and leader because it's kind of diminishing as a word. And of course, the words are important. But more than that, I think that it's about what we do in the end. Because if I am dancing with a leader that it's respecting me, is taking care of me, and is paying attention, then for me that is what counts. And also the role of the follower, to me, is the best of both. I mean, who can close the eyes when they are dancing? I think that when you're following, it's a state in which you can really let yourself go. The leader can also, but the leader needs to pay attention about the circulation, the people around. it requires to be more in the planning side of the thing. And I love my role because I can really disconnect from the world. I am just on the feeling and in letting myself go. I think it's the only activity I can really get into that state of mind, mindless.
Yeah, it's very meditative.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, I would like that we can really appreciate that role more, not to think that we are just executing, because it's much more than that. It's interpreting, and it's of course it's about a dialogue. It's not unidirectional anymore. I don't know how do you say that.
I think the same way, unidirectional.
Unidirectional. It's not that anymore. There is someone proposing, and then you make that proposal yours, and then it turns into something else, and you give it back to the other. And if you're dancing with someone who is able to take all that, to listen to you, then it's magical. But I think we're kind of stuck there right now, and maybe something will come up sooner or later. But yeah, there is a lot of contradiction, and I feel that a lot of women feel uncomfortable about this division of roles, especially in Europe, in the northern countries.
Yeah.
I can feel that, but I try to understand where does all that comes from, because I am learning a lot. I come from a culture that is kind of macho style. So I learn a lot talking with these women that are all the time questioning how we do and how we say things, because for me I would take them for granted until some years ago. It was something that we didn't talk about it in Tango.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
there's a lot of change.
and it's very interesting what you're saying, I think, like about the idea of the words, how they are important, but but there is this thing that it's more about the performance, like how you are in the doing, and how you understand your
Yeah, in
role
the
in
end,
the
because what counts, it's what you end up doing.
yeah.
More than how you name the things. But yeah, of course, both important, because we channel ideas and feelings through words, and it's a way of perceiving the world. We
So,
live a lot in
Sofia,
the art.
yes, so we are going to finish now. I have a final questions, like a short questions that I have come up with.
Okay.
I took it from this from a show that I used to watch that was called Inside the Actor Studio, and I kind of adapted it for tango dancers. So,
Okay.
what is your favorite word?
Uh, um, I don't know favorite, but a word that I really like is awareness.
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 Nice.
Yes.
What is your least favorite word?
I have an issue with energy. Because
energy, okay.
yeah, because it means everything and nothing at the same time. Sometimes I use it in the classes, and then I think I am not being very precise. I like precision.
Yeah.
And energy sometimes can be kind of ambiguous word. So yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
What sound or noise do you love?
Um, the sound of water I like a lot.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. What sound or noise do you hate?
The TV sound. I hate it.
Like the
I
TV
hate
on the
it. To go to
background.
a restaurant or yeah, I hate it when you go to a bar and there is a TV on. Ah, no. That's the worst noise I can have. Yeah.
What is your favorite curse word?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
I swear a lot. Okay, I say it in Spanish. I'm not going to
Dale.
translate it.
Yeah, go ahead.
But something that I use a lot is la reputísima madre que los remil recontraparió. It's very liberating.
I
The
like
more
that you
you have, the better.
the requete. I really like that you really went all in like with that word.
I say it
Nice.
fast. No translation.
Good. So, name a tango that you love.
One tango is difficult. I like Mensaje a lot, and Uno, I like a lot the lyrics.
Hmm. Name a tango that you don't like.
I cannot think of one. Maybe there are tangos I like more than others, but I doesn't come to my mind one tango that I don't like at all. I don't know. Next.
Next, name an orchestra that you love.
Pugliese, Antroilo, both. Love them.
An
Love
orchestra
drama.
that you an orchestra that you don't particularly like.
The Angelis. I don't like very much.
A female dancer that you like.
There are many. Vanina Vilus. It's a dancer I always watched when I was a kid, and I was hypnotized by her moves. Her way of moving, it's like so tango. She's the tango. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
A dance couple that inspires you.
Okay, there are couples I like because of their virtuosity, like Ariadna and Fernando, Chicho and Juana. They are flawless. I really like because of the virtue they have. But I also like a lot Jonathan and Clarissa. It's a very young couple. I don't know if you know them.
Yes.
I like them more because I connect with what they are feeling. I can see that they really love tango when they are dancing. They are really into it, and that touches me a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Well, when I was a kid, I used to design fashion. Like I did a lot of drawings when I was 7 until 10 years old. I was drawing all the time, and I think that fashion design is something that I could have done, and maybe in the future, who knows. I like to design my clothes for tango and to buy the fabrics. I like all that world.
Nice.
So it's something I could do.
And what profession would you not like to do?
International business.
The one you studied.
Maybe anything that is repetitive or like paperwork. To be in an office every day, I'm not sure I could do it. I would get tired very easily.
And finally, what advice would you give to somebody who is only starting to dance tango?
I would tell them to bear in mind that when they are quarreling with their partner, to remember that they are doing that for fun. and also, as it is a couple dance, it's very easy to blame the other for the things that are not working. So to really look inside and to see what you can change yourself before judging, before putting the blame on your partner, because that is very easy to do, no? To put the blame outside and not to take responsibility for the things that are not working, as in life.
Yes, yes. No, it's a good advice for people who are beginning and for people who are not. Like, it's a good advice for me, at least it is.
Yeah. I work on that all the time, in the tango and outside the tango, to really focus more on what you can change and not to make the other change all the time. That is something that we are doing constantly. So yeah, to look inside.
Okay, good. Okay, Sofia. So thank you so much for this conversation. The time flew. I hope that I'm not keeping you for your
No,
yoga class.
we are good. We are good. We have
And
15 minutes.
yeah,
I don't know
good.
if you
So
see the questions, if there are any question.
So, well, Maria Verónica González Carranza asks if you're giving lessons online, actually.
Not yet, but if
Not
this
yet.
pandemic continues, maybe we will have to think about that. Yeah, that will
Yeah.
be the future of tango.
Yeah, and it surprisingly it works in a way that it's quite surprising actually. That's at
Really?
least has been
But
my
you are doing
experience.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you are
And somebody
enjoying it.
asks, yes, yes. So Barra Bo asks, ¿dónde te seguimos los de Argentina? Where do we follow you, the ones who are in Argentina?
You can follow me on Facebook or Instagram, Sophie_Saborido. It's yeah, I always put all the information there.
Yeah. Okay, so Sophie, thank you so much for being here. It has been a pleasure to talk with you. I have enjoyed this hour, and I hope that you have too. And I hope that
Me too.
all the people who were here listening to you, you had a lot of fans here saying that you were the best, that you have such a beautiful energy. So I think that people who were following this actually did enjoy it as much as I did as well.
Thank you very
So
much, Nadia, for doing this. I think it's a great way to take advantage of this quarantine situation. Get to know the tango, chance to talk, because we usually don't have this chance so much. We're mostly connecting through the dance, but to be able to chat is it's a great opportunity. So thank you for doing this.
yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.